Show me your heart. I know that it's beating. Tell me that you love me too. So I know your heart is true. 'Cause I need some proof of love. 'Cause I need some proof of love. 'Cause I need some proof of love.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Proof of Love. Today is the artist edition. We're going to be doing more of these. I've got a new album coming out. My love is really music more than anything at all, even more so than Bitcoin. And I've been doing that for a really long time, as some of you may know. But now I'm seeing a lot more people getting into the crypto space that are on the artsy side. I think Proof of Love has a appeal to everybody's artsy side, right? I think like a lot of people, I think the reason why I made a lot of friends in the crypto scene is I think some people really wanted to do music and maybe they chose to do something else and they couldn't do it. Music is the great unifier. I've thought about this a great deal. I would say maybe is the most powerful force on earth in terms of, well, I mean, love is, but, you know, music can really bring about a lot of change. I've debated, is it Bitcoin? Is it music? Is it Bitcoin? Is it music? So I'm really excited to be talking with another fellow musician. I'm going to be bringing Jordan Page up pretty soon, who is also at FreedomFest. But today I'm talking to my fellow pirate friend. I've become a fan of the pirate chain coin. And so that's how I found out about Matt Welsh. And when I first heard about Matt Welsh, now sometimes people say to me, they're like, oh, listen to this awesome crypto artist. It's going to be so great. And frankly, it's not always that great. And you're kind of being like, but Matt was awesome. I loved this song. I thought it was really neat. He has an amazing energy. So Matt Welsh of BLUVNBU, some interesting acronym he's going to tell us about. Welcome to Proof of Love. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you, Tatiana, for having me. That was a beautiful introduction, and I couldn't say it better myself. There's a lot we can talk about, but I'm really excited for everyone tuning in to check this out. Tatiana, I'm a huge fan as well. She's a pioneer in the crypto NFT space, and I'm still learning from you, so yeah.
Great. Cool. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved with music.
So my pops got me into music when I was 15. I was like a punk skateboarder kid, and he was just begging me to pick up an instrument. And finally I gave in. I picked up the drums. And he came home one Christmas with a drum set and all these instruments for me and my brothers. And I took to it because I found a drum teacher that really resonated with me, Aaron Smith. And he taught me a lot about discipline and practice, focused practice. And so I really just did the band thing. Like since I was 15, I haven't stopped. You know, I'm 30 years old now. So it's 15, almost 16 years. I've just been writing songs and playing rock and roll.
All right, I like that. But you're not just like a rocker, right? I mean, I see you have a lot of instruments behind you. You have long hair. You have some kind of an eagle on your shirt. It looks very rockish. But in reality, you are a yogi. And so part of the whole thing with Proof of Love is like we're trying to bring balance to people. And I like to explore some of the woo-woo stuff. Some of it I give it the thumbs down. Some of it I give it the thumbs up. But you've managed to mix your music, which we'll get to the crypto part in a little while, but you've managed to mix your music with yoga, mindfulness, like chakra stuff. So tell me a little bit about that. And like just in general, like what made you have an interest in that in the first place?
Yeah, well, I was brought up in the Catholic Church and it didn't fully resonate with me, to be honest. So I kind of goofed off the whole time, but I always felt like a connection to source.
Time out.
Sure.
So wait, all right, I don't mean to cut you off so soon, but I wonder
please.
about like, so I've been very attracted to friends lately that are like Catholics or Christians, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a really big divergence from what I felt like going to church growing up. Like first of all, thank God my family wasn't, brainwashing me hardcore with like religion. But would you make a distinction between the community and the religion itself? Because I feel like going to actual church and the institution is really where the problem comes up. Now I find a lot of my most freedom-minded friends who are kind, good-hearted souls to imbue themselves with the values of Jesus, whereas I think that the church kind of ruins it for everybody. Not all churches, but like as an institution.
Yeah, I mean, without going down the rabbit hole, most of everything in the world is indoctrination, and religion is a big part of that. So it's part of a program. to get people to think and act a certain way. And for me, I have a hard time following rules, and I like real connection. So I've always felt a connection to source. And I think religion is good in that way, that it does bring people, it draws a focus to God, a God-centered, sort of perspective, which really should create humility at the end of the day. It should be able to humble us. But yeah, it's just gotten out of hand. And as far as indoctrination, there's a lot of things to do and rules to follow, and not all of them quite add up to me. And the temple is really, it's right here, it's everywhere you go. It's your body, So to have to go to a church and pay to go to a church and such, as part of your communion with God is I don't know, it's just like a business, And they're saving a bunch on taxes.
They are providing a bit of a service. So, there's something to be said for community, right? You have, the judgy church ladies, but theoretically, you make friends, they're your family throughout your life, and people can get some support. Mm-hmm. I think the individual church is not the issue. I think it's the, Vatican or something, going on with them being okay with, pedophiles and, sweeping under the rug, which,
sure,
again, I don't think is the only religion that has pedophiles. I also think that that's a misnomer, or maybe it's misconstrued or misrepresented sometimes. I looked it up. That's neither here nor there, but I think that's where it is. It's in the institutionalized power versus at the individual level. Because if you don't like your church, you can go to a better church down the street, and they should get at least something because they are providing a service. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Priests can't eat water. They can't eat God all day long. They got to have some snacks.
Yeah. So I'm sure we can dig into this later, but what's happening is we're in the age of Aquarius now, and so it is a new age, and it's an air sign, and in the new age you see this convergence of all these different religions, and people are starting to come together as one. They're starting to learn about real science and quantum physics and understand energy, and to me that's a lot more simple and relatable, and it makes more sense than a lot of the religious indoctrination that I've been subject to over my life, and many of my peers and family. So within that, we got to be careful because, there's a lot of indoctrination in New Age as well. So me as a New Age rock artist, a New Age, just a human being in this New Age of Aquarius, I'm trying to be really vigilant and discerning of what I'm reading, what I'm allowing into my energy center, so to speak. And I think we all have to be real vigilant like that today,
Yeah, I think so. I'm fascinated by this Age of Aquarius, but that's only because I really liked the song. Why do people believe that that's a real thing, right? Who said there's an Age of Aquarius? Because I see that, I dabble with a little astrology here and there. I had a psychic that really led me wrong. She's like, this guy's going to be your husband. Meanwhile, he's stalking me 8 months later. So I'm not really down with that anymore.
Wow.
But I think astrology is kind of interesting. And what is the Age of Aquarius? Is that based on anything? Is this an alignment of the planets? What happens physically?
Exactly. So last winter solstice, December 21st, 2020, was the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. And this was a magnificent time in the history of the planets. As above, so below, and there was so much drama playing out in the skies and astrologically last year, which is why it was chaos on the planet. I mean, with the COVID pandemic and the markets crashing, nobody basically working for a whole year. I mean, it was a beautiful time to be alive and live through it, especially if you understood what was happening on a higher level. So it's all very real, and I'm sure you've heard the expression that millionaires study numbers in business, but billionaires, they study the stars, and they work with the planets. So I'm very much in the belief that everything that has been happening has everything to do with the shift into the Age of Aquarius, out of the Age of Pisces, which is the age of Jesus, and, the fishies, the teacher. I mean, I don't know, man. It was the past, and, now we're in the future. And it's a little chaotic, and we're still kind of coming out of it. But I think by this 1 year anniversary, this next winter solstice, we're going to be kind of in it,
Well, it seems definitely like things have certainly increased. What's your sign, baby?
Yeah, I'm a Libra, so balance is, you got the right guy on the show.
All right, I like balance. I'm a Leo myself. Okay, so you have the Age of Aquarius, fine. Still up for debate. I'm down. It feels definitely like things are going on. People are certainly waking up. And why are you winking at the thing? Are you like giving it like the secret Aquarius sign or something? I saw you do a little wink. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, I'm not that secretive.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you've had trainings in yoga, Qigong, food healing, meditation, plant medicine, breath work. How has that influenced your music? And tell me a little bit more about like what of those things is so appealing, and why do you think that it's real? Like, how do you know that it's not a placebo effect? With the caveat that I have read The Placebo Effect and Joe Dispenza books, and I'm not like completely not sold on it, but I'm curious what appeals to you about these things and makes it resonate. Have you had healing experiences yourself? You know, tell me a little bit about that, and then we'll go into how it influenced your music project. Yeah,
absolutely. So I pursued all of these trainings and certifications as a student first and foremost. My first training being a 200-hour certification with Amber Melody of Shine On Yoga. That was here in Orlando. Beautiful training, and we studied each of the 7 chakras and all the poses that go with it, and all the healing foods that go with it, and the teas and the crystals. I mean, it was beautiful. And that sent me on the journey, which then I begun to learn from Amma. And I got to receive my darshan and give Amma a hug, several hugs, and she gave me a mantra, and I went through her meditation certifications, and it's just, I mean, throughout the process, I was just becoming more and more connected with, like, who I am and the source, you know, and it's just, I felt totally in alignment, more in alignment, and that to me was so healing, and the community was very healing. And then I got involved with Jeff Primack of Qigong.com. I pronounce,
what's Qigong?
So Qigong it's ancient. It's like the most ancient Chinese practice of basically feeling energy within your body and merging it with the breath. So to this day, I feel like it's the most advanced practice that I've ever done. It still is. I mean, well, the breath work is the end all be all. And I realized this at my first Chi Revolution event with Jeff Primack. The first day, one of the first practices, everyone laid down in Shavasana on their mat, right on their backs, and we just breathed in and out through the nose, like. So not hyperventilating, but like it was a consistent, like steady warrior breath. And we did that for like 9 or 10 minutes, and it changed my life because, you know, I could just feel the energy, like my hands were shaking, and I could feel like the breath was just energizing my body, and like I almost felt like numb, you know. And I could feel it like targeting all these areas, like my knees and like my shoulders and my ankles, just from skateboarding for like almost 6 years hard, you know, like I could feel the breath and the blood flowing to those areas and just like nourishing, you know, those parts of my body that I'd neglected for so long. And then, oh man, it's so funny. Jeff comes up to me because he's got the mic. He's like, "What did you think of this?" And I was like, "Oh man." He's like, "I've done just about every plant medicine in the book, and that was the best I've ever experienced." He's like, oh my God. He was like, "So you're that guy?" It was so funny. Yeah. Okay, I'm a hippie. I've been a bit of a stoner. I get it, you know, but nah, man, for me, it's about the healing. It's about the connection to my body, to everyone else, to the source, you know, and it's been a journey.
So tell me about how you made an album, like focusing on chakras. What's this about?
Yeah,
because it was like a multimedia project.
Oh yeah, it was like my life's work basically. You know, all 15 years of doing music, and those songs were written over the course of 5 years. And then after I did this yoga training, the same studio that I did the training, it was this beautiful log cabin in East Orlando. And it's completely self-sustainable. Like, I mean, solar panels, rainwater catchment, like all wood. It's just amazing, dude. So I did the training there, and I tried to get my teachers to stay and keep doing trainings, but they had to move on. So they put in a good word. I ended up renting that cabin and taking it over and turning it into this badass music studio. And towards the last 6 months of my lease there, I was like, I got to do this record. So everything just came together right after I did the yoga training. So the chakras were fresh in my head. And it just so happened that each of these 7 songs kind of fell into an alignment that they each relate to one of the 7 energy centers. And I just started putting it all together. My mother made artwork for each of the chakras, each songs, and my best friend Alex whipped up this beautiful website at BLUVNBU.com. We've got all the chakras, all the songs, all the info, and if I had to die, I wouldn't change a thing about the life that I lived. I'd do it all over again. Now that I've done this body of work, so.
Well, hopefully it's not time to go yet. You got involved with crypto though, and at first you were a Monero king. You like Monero still, but now you are so inspired by Pirate Chain that you wrote them a song. So what's going on? Why didn't Monero get a song? Because they don't have a pirate.
I know. Well, Monero's larger than life now, man. They're too big. They're too big for us little guys. Well, speaking for myself, you're pretty big too, but I'd have to say, I have to take it back, like 2017 when my boy Mark said, dude, you got to look at Ethereum, man. So I bought an Ether. I watched it go from like $300 all the way up to $1,300, and I was like, whoa, this is real. And then like that's when I started just going totally deep into crypto, studying the charts, finding out the best research out there. That's how I found the crypto vigilante, the dollar vigilante, and ended up Anarchapulco this year, 2021. And right when I saw Lutz, right? Lutz is like the man behind Pirate Chain. He's the legend, dude. Right when I saw him, like, I have to talk to that guy. And like, sure as shit, we totally link up, and we just right away just hit it off. He gives me a shirt. We're taking a photo, man. I was like, I'll see you again, man. So like, I saw him again in Miami just by happenstance. Him, the whole Pirate Chain crew. I walk up, Benny's there. He's like, yo, man, you want a shirt? We got one left. It's only a medium, though. I'm like, dude, that's my size. So it was so
that worked out.
Yeah, it was so meant to be, man. And then Lutz was there, and then we were hanging out on the patio at the end of the event. And I was like, hey, man, like, how do you feel? Like, I got all this discography. Like, how do you feel if we use it for Pirate Chain? It's about freedom. It's like freedom rock, He's like, well, what if you wrote a song for Pirate Chain about, like, me, like, story of my life? It was okay. I sent him one of my tracks, like, a week later. Just kept following up, And he's like, I love this. I'm like, okay, well, this is, if I do a song, this is how it's going to sound. He's like, I love it. I'm like, all right. So I end up back in the studio in New York with John DeClaria, right, at Nada Recording Studios. And I was going back to finish my newest record, the Aquarian EP. And, like, we finished early. I had extra times and an extra day to book. So I was like, John, like, you want to do this? And my mom was with me. I'm like, Mom, if I do this, it's going to be huge. She's like, do it. So I booked the extra time. And I wrote and recorded this song, The Last Stand, in less than 24 hours at Nada Recording Studio. And it's like one of the best songs I think I've ever done. One of my favorites, certainly. And it's called The Legend of Lutz Man. It's about the last stand. And Lutz loved it. And he flew me out to PorkFest to perform with him. And now he's flying me out to FreedomFest here at Mount Rushmore to do it again.
Wow. So tell me more about that performance, because I caught you guys up at PorkFest. And for people who are not familiar with it, Pirate Chain, also known as R, is like a secret project, and they do kind of like privacy coins, right? But people can look that up. What's the website for them?
Pirate.black.
Pirate.black. Ooh, so scary. We'll put the links in the show notes below. But tell me a little bit about these upcoming performances.
Yeah, so the one at PorkFest was really neat because we had like an hour of time. Lutz was speaking, so I just opened up his talk. I just played the song live for everyone. And we had a wonderful videographer out there. A couple guys filmed the whole thing for us. We're going to be releasing that soon, the whole talk, the video. And we kind of captured the energy of PorkFest, which wasn't just about like, bring your guns and freedom, like there were kids everywhere, dude. Like we had the whole projector screen up, for Pirate Chain, and we're playing Pirates of the Caribbean every night, and it was just packed. Like everybody loved it. There were families out there, so Pirate isn't so scary. It's just what's scary is what Pirate poses a threat to, which is the entire central banking system. So that's a rabbit hole in itself, but essentially what you need to know about Pirate Chain is that it is a privacy by default. There's no optional privacy. Like the transactions are always going to be anonymous, and good luck trying to trace it or hack it. You can't, and it's yet to be proven. And now there's audits being done professionally on a high level that are going to prove this. And when it does, and when it's listed on more exchanges, it's going to be huge, man. Right. It's like $2 right now. So I don't know. I want to buy a Monero at $200 or a Pirate at $2, and you know.
That definitely does make it more appealing. But this is not a show where we give financial advice. We're just saying,
right.
Check out the project. And you're right. I mean, that's just obvious, right? Like Monero's 200, and I feel like people should have a diverse portfolio. I'm not really into a variety of different coins, but there are certainly key projects that are great in addition to just the big boy of Bitcoin.
Sure.
Cool. So, where can people catch up with you? Like, what's next on the road? We're wrapping it up, but I want to give people a chance to maybe check out your music, maybe catch you at an upcoming performance. Like, what's going on for the rest of 2021 for you?
It's a big year. We're going to officially release this song, The Last Stand, with Pirate Chain. We're going to do it big, you know, nice music video, everything. So that's first, and then I'm going to get this Aquarian EP out. And right now, the tentative, what's resonating with me, it just hit me last night, is like the 1-year anniversary of the Great Conjunction, the winter solstice, December 21st, 2021. I want to release this new EP. And it's a 5-song EP. It's all about, like, what we've been going through, you know, in the Age of Aquarius. Like, is this what we've become? The rabbit hole? Is everything just a dream? You know, I Can Breathe. That's the last song. I can breathe, right? I can't breathe. Get out of here with that nonsense, you know? I can breathe.
Right.
And I know, which is the mantra for the Age of Aquarius, you know? Age of Pisces, I think. Age of Aquarius, I know. You know, don't you feel like a deeper sense of knowing, Tatiana? Like these days, you feel like you know who you are more, and you know more about the system, the world that we live in, and how to navigate it?
I think that things are a little bit difficult in the world at this time. You know, what can you do?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell which way is up, but I think that music is definitely the answer. So I'm happy to hear that you are representing the cause of freedom and musicians everywhere. What's your website?
Yeah, so my website is BLUVNBU.com. It's all like the whole word like spelt out. Oh, is that upside down?
BLUVNBU.com. All right,
yeah.
Cool. So it's a little bit long, but people can just check the notes again. And then, are you selling your music for crypto?
Yes, I am. You can choose that in the checkout process.
I like that. All right, good. So support your favorite artists, everybody. Thanks so much, Matt, for coming on to Proof of Love today. I can't wait till the next time I see you. We got to do a jam. This is a long time coming. So we'll certainly keep in touch. And then I think I'm organizing an event in Miami with some of the folks from Pirate Chain and a few other projects. But when I find that out, that might be a good time to talk again. So thanks so much for coming on to Proof of Love, and we'll see you next time, everybody.
Thank you, Tatiana.
I work to eat and sleep and just repeat. I wonder, is this the life for me? I followed all the rules and did my best, but tragedy put my will to the test. When I found some answers, I spoke up. Then I was cast into the shadows, they chained me up. No, I won't forget the things that they said. And you don't know the places I have been. People say that I was wrong all along. I stayed strong. Batten down the hatches. This is the calm before the storm. The system has been broken, and soon will be no more. The tools, they can enslave us, but they can set us free. This is the last stand for our freedom and our privacy. No, I won't forget the things that